Good evening. Well, I'm decided to make a YouTube video here. I have a channel that, it's technically still, active, but I haven't posted in a long time. I wanted to make a few videos, and I was doing it towards the tail end of COVID. I remember I was making my first videos when I remember the crowds were starting to come back to arenas and stadiums, and restrictions were starting to ease. And I feel like, okay, it's really time to get back into this. Something that obviously during the 2020 the playoffs, it just didn't feel the same. Didn't feel right. So I wanted to I've been thinking about doing a video for a while, and after I had gotten home from a fun night of trivia, which where we played, they had the game on, and the first two periods, I've got to say, when you're a diehard fan and you put so much energy into watching, and your emotions get high because you're thinking to yourself as a fan, how many chances are you going to get to watch this? How many chances do you get to win a championship? You don't get a lot of chances. And I think that when I was watching the first two periods, to say I wasn't happy with what I saw would be an understatement. I was seeing a New York Ranger team that just a week ago they were up 3-0. Okay, and they had all the momentum in the world. Artemi Panarin scores an overtime goal just a little under 2 minutes into the first overtime, and it just stunned the Carolina Hurricanes. 2 nights ago, Vinny Trocheck hits a double overtime. And so we were just the games are right there, but we were up 3-0, and we were doing the bounce was going our way. And then game four hit, and I'm like, okay, you're probably not going to sweep this team. This is a good hockey team, so the odds are we were not going to sweep the Carolina Hurricanes. But here we are. We fought back. We're tied 3-3, and you're thinking, okay, we might actually do this. We take a bad penalty late. They were due for one. I was like, you know what? We'll chalk that one up. Game five comes along. Okay. And the Garden crowd's rocking. The Garden crowd is into it. The towels are waved, and you hear, reading. I listened to Boomer and Geo. I listened to BT and Sal, Evan and Tiki. My favorite commentator Joe Beningo, and everything. The Rangers are going to the Cup. This will be a celebration. Don't worry about it. And I was cautiously optimistic, and then I see Jacob Trouba score that shorthanded goal, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, Carolina, the game was kind of evenly matched, just like the series is, but we were doing the extra thing to win. Okay. Jacob Trouba scores the shorthanded goal. And here I am thinking, okay, hold on for 20 more minutes, but you find a way to win this game, I should say. The third period comes along, and I am watching this team. I'm like, what just happened? Losing faceoffs, losing the puck battles, and I watched Jordan Stahl blow right past Braden Schneider for the tying goal, and I said to myself, that was to be expected because we got away from what was working. We weren't challenging Frederik Andersen. We were not taking shots. We were sitting back, and we were trying to let Igor stand on his head. Drove me nuts. It's what lost us the series against the New Jersey Devils last year, and that's what got Gerard Gallant fired. And you know what? Yeah, he had to go because the coach made absolutely no efforts. Okay, he made no efforts and to make any game plan adjustments. And when you're the head coach of a team in the playoffs, you got to step in. Okay. And so, but game five was reminiscent of the New Jersey Devils series where we just lost it, lost any good vibes. And the third period comes, and it's like we forgot how to skate, we forgot how to shoot, we forgot how to defend, and 1-0 turned into 1-1, turned into 2-1, turned into 3-1, and I said I'm done. I'm shutting this game off, and I'm pissed. And then they get the empty net. Okay, it's 4-1, and I'm like, these guys were 20 minutes away. If you are a championship team, you close out a game. You find a way, and you knew the Carolina Hurricanes were going to come out smoking. So I got a little upset. But I said, it's going back. And I said to myself, they damn well better not let this thing go 7. They damn well better not let this thing go 7. So enter tonight. Enter tonight. I started to see exactly what I saw the third period of Game 5 and what I saw all of the New Jersey Devils series basically after the first 2 games. Not getting shots. You're losing face-off battles. You're getting out hustled. You're getting out skated, and you're letting Igor trying to stand on his head. You're leaving him hang out to dry. And we forgot our top line skaters went MIA. Zibanejad, Kreider, Panarin, all of them. Trocheck, who was great the first couple of games. Where were all these guys? The only one out of the top 6 that was playing any really good was Alexis Lafreniere. So Carolina gets a goal, a bad letdown with 2 minutes left in the first. 1-0. How many shots did we have? 3 shots in the first period. We forget how to play hockey all of a sudden. Doubt creeps in your head. You got the same core group. Kreider was here. Zibanejad was here. Panarin was here. Trocheck wasn't around for the Lightning conference finals, but he was here for the Devils. And he was a culprit of being a no-show, just like the whole team was in that Game 7, which shouldn't even have gotten to that point. So I'm thinking, here we go again. Here we go again. And we could be on the wrong side of history. And guess what? 2010, when the Philadelphia Flyers came back against the Boston Bruins after the Bruins were up 3-0, guess who the coach was? Peter Laviolette. And a couple of years ago, we beat the Canes on their home ice in Game 7. And I'm thinking this team is chomping at the bit to get this back to the Garden to spoil it in front of our fans. And boy, oh boy, it sure looked like it was heading that way. Second period, come right out. Carolina gets another goal, and we are not making adjustments. We're not doing anything. What are we doing? It's 2-0. So I'm playing trivia with my friends, and we got a good thing of trivia going. And but I'm like looking at the game, and I'm like, geez, I'm losing it. I'm losing it. So then, I tune in, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, well, Panarin, look what happened. We actually shot the puck, and Panarin put one past Frederik Andersen. 2-1, you're back in the game. But what happened? Carolina jumped up a notch. They sure did. And they got that goal right back, and I was floored. I'm like, here we go again. Here we go again. Third period comes along. And I'm on my way home, and I'm like, I can't look at my phone. I'm just making me crazy. I'm like, I'm mentally prepared for this thing to go 7. I'm like, I cannot believe we are 1 game away, and we are facing all the pressure in the world. But then Chris Kreider steps up. He decided, and it's funny, and it's the guy who almost didn't play. I mean, he was good to go earlier today. And go figure, he was the hero. He was the hero. He was the force in front of the net that he needed to be. And I was thinking, where was this the whole series? Where we really needed that closing mentality. He's that big body in front of the net, and we got a goal back, and we make it 3-2. And this was after Carolina had missed a couple of nets, hit a couple posts, and all of a sudden, I get a text and I'm saying, next goal is huge. What? Whoa! I got to turn the game on. I was thinking in my head the way they looked the first 2 periods, it was over. Well, what do I know? I mean, in my mindset, the no quit in New York was the we quit in New York, because they didn't. I'm like, they didn't come to play. And then the third period, I mean, they were lucky it was down 2. Chris Kreider again makes a play. We get a couple lucky bounces, and now all of a sudden, and this is the game of hockey, and it is the game of sports, and like I said, 3-1 became 3-2. So, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, we're on the power play. I'm like, damn, what's going on here? I'm like, it went from being a guaranteed Game 7 back in MSG to 1 goal, and we tied it. And who was in front of the net again doing what he needs to do? Number 20. And just like that, I was proven wrong. I mean, for lack of a better word, dumb. Because, again, this was the same core group that couldn't close the deal against the Devils last year, couldn't close the deal against the Lightning. And when that core group, it's like in your head, it's like you know. But Chris Kreider, the longest tenured Ranger, decided it was time to take matters into his own hands. So a couple of awesome goals. He tied it, and I'm thinking, oh, we're tied. I'm stunned. We're tied. What am I watching here? Maybe it is the no quit in New York is back here. No, it's number 20. Number 20 came to play in the third period. But I'm thinking, okay, it's still tied. Carolina's making pushes. Let's not, And then 4 minutes left to go. He does it again. He gives us the lead. And the Carolina Hurricane fans now feel how I felt, or now how the Carolina Hurricanes felt. Stunned, in disbelief, in a bad way. Whereas I'm stunned in disbelief in such an amazing way. And I'm thinking we're 4 minutes away, but at the same time, I'm like, Carolina's a team that pushes. Carolina teams that's got that, and they got their chances at the end. Kuznetsov had a point blank chance on Igor, and Igor did what he had to do. And after that, we controlled the puck. We iced it a few times, which made me absolutely crazy. And I'm like, just come on, just survive this. And then once the empty netter was hit, I finally breathed a sigh of relief. It was excitement. It was stunning. And I wanted to make this video to share, that when you're a fan, sometimes I think what it is you don't, when you're a fan of the teams I root for, the Mets, and they're bad, but the Jets, well, we'll see what Aaron Rodgers has this year. I'll talk more Jets later, but I'm not. This is the Mets are an afterthought. It's not football season, not even close to football season. I got the Knicks and Rangers, and the Knicks have been bad, but this has been the one team that's been a constant, at least in the postseason. But recent history suggested they failed. It was a failure. And, so, I guess you can look at it as they were either going to learn from it or they were going to wilt under it. And, I was watching a team that was wilting. But again, you cried, or you needed one of your big boys to step up. He did. He absolutely did. So here I am. I'm wearing my Ranger gear. I'm wearing, Igor Shesterkin. And I can honestly say that I'm happy. I'm happy that here I get to see this team in the conference finals. I'm hoping the basketball tenants, the New York Knickerbockers, I'm hoping they follow suit. And for the first time that I can remember in my life, 94, I was a 9-year-old kid. I didn't really know much about it, so I can't really count 94 because that's not how I am now. Obviously, that's 30 years ago. So basically, long story short, I'm one win away in basketball now from seeing two teams reach in the conference finals, and I'm really going to count this as a first time. And how it's incredible, it's amazing, it's exhausting, it's mental. It can be mentally taxing, but it's a feeling that I wouldn't trade for anything in the world right now. I'm about to watch the New York Rangers hopefully advance to the Stanley Cup Finals. Florida will be tough, assuming it is going to be the Panthers, but you can't count out the Bruins yet. And the Boston Bruins are a very gritty team. Swayman's a great goalie. You have the little ball of fire in Brad Marchand. You got Pasternak. You've got Charlie Coyle. You've got Geeky. You've got some players in the Boston Bruins as well. But whoever is advancing from that series and plays us, it'll be a battle. It'll probably go at least 6. Hopefully not. I mean, I'd love to sweep them. I truly would love to sweep them. But anyways, I just wanted to take this time to share my fanaticism, share the passion, share the excitement, and I'm gonna start making videos more now. I been meaning to do this, and I thought, why not do this? This was a perfect time. So, hope everyone has a good night, and let's go Rangers.